Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. If you've been following me, you know that what I do with topics is I use them as an excuse to teach you more about marriage. And you ought to subscribe because learning about marriage should have been what we all did growing up, but we didn't. Now, this topic is my wife doesn't defend me against her family. And it's a good topic for that. So subscribe, like this later, and let's get to this. By the way, I used to be a divorce mediator. That was over 20 years ago, and now we've been saving marriages left and right. I'm going to tell you something that I don't think that your marriage is in a critical state. I think that this is something that is a sign that you don't know how to be married. She doesn't know how to be married, but you came to us. You're the one searching. So I'm going to be addressing this video to you. This has nothing to do with her. Has nothing to do with her family. This is because you can't do anything about that. I'll tell you right now, you're not going to change that. But what you are going to do is you're going to learn how to look past it. You're going to learn how to work around this. It's not that big a deal. It really isn't. Trust me, there are much worse things that can happen in a marriage. But your marriage is not all happiness and balloons and doves anyway. So let's talk about that. Let's begin with the question, and I know it's going to sound like a distraction, but it's not. Trust me, stay with me. Why did you get married in the first place? Not why did you marry your wife? I know that answer. You fell in love. But why get married? Why? And you may be asking yourself that very question. But there's a good reason. The reason is we want to be happy. And we intuitively know that by being with our soulmate, because she is your soulmate, that marriage should be like the most amazing venue for creating happiness, and you also wanted to experience unconditional love, which is not that easy for men. So you got married. Now maybe it wasn't the first thing on your mind. Oh, I'm getting married because I want to be happier. No, I got married because I love her. Great. But you did want to be happy. That's the real reason. And I want to tell you this is a truth that the vehicle of marriage is so clean a design for creating happiness, but you got to know how to drive it. You know, I saw this video many, many years ago before YouTube and all of these things. And as my nephew likes to point out, I was in my 40s when they invented all this stuff, but we used to share videos on our emails. And there was this one video of this kid who turned 16 and his wealthy father gave him a Maserati. And he gets in his Maserati and I saw it coming. And that video only lasted a few seconds because that kid wrapped that car around a tree. He couldn't handle it. It was so powerful. Maybe he knew how to drive, but he didn't know how to drive a Maserati. So you're in a marriage, you don't know how to drive it. You don't. Now, I've got books to teach you. You can watch these videos if you want to not spend any money, articles, but one of my books would be good for you. And what you need to do is learn two things in order for you to have a successful marriage. Just two things. They're huge, but they're only two. Number one, you have to learn how to master your mind. I know you don't hear this anywhere else, but it's the truth. We are human beings. What does that mean? It means that we're souls. We have a body. You know that you have a body. You're not your body, right? You're not your body. You have one. The mind is the same thing. You have your mind. You also have free will. Your mind doesn't have free will. Think of the mind only as a machine. See it objectively. that you have completely given all your power over to, because it's behaving based on instincts, habits, and all kinds of things that you're not even paying attention why it does what it does. And this about your wife not defending you against your family is a great example. You care. Why should you care? However, why shouldn't you have a great marriage to the point of where your wife is like worshiping the ground you walk on and can't live without you, which is what it's supposed to be. She shouldn't be able to live without you, and you shouldn't be able to live without her, but you don't treat her that way. You're complaining because she doesn't defend you against her family. Screw her family. Who cares what they think? You don't have control over your mind. You're not stopping it from caring. You're letting your mind's reactions, the ego, which is driven by a drive to survive, which is innate to the body, because every one of your trillions of cells is only about survival, and it's telling your mind, danger, danger, watch out for danger, and your mind is calculating and going, these people don't like me, I'm in danger, and so you care. That's basically the mechanics of it. When you shouldn't care. You shouldn't care. However, that doesn't help. What does help is for you to understand this. When you learn how to be married, by learning how to master your mind, that's the one. And number two is to learn how to love your wife unconditionally. Those are the rules of the road, of the marriage road. You don't confront, you don't argue, you don't complain, you don't criticize. Those are all the don'ts. You do listen, you do care for, you do compliment, you do express love. Those are the do's. There's all kinds of stuff that you have to learn. And then this little thing will be irrelevant to you. And that is the truth. Now, if you've been following me and you're a therapist, and we have lots of therapists who follow us, and you want to change your practice, I'm now teaching online. I've got an online course. So you could become a certified marriage counselor, TMF marriage counselor. And we don't label, we don't get into childhood traumas, we don't do all that stuff because it doesn't work. What we do is we focus on why we get married in the first place, for love and happiness, and how to do it. We are the guides for those who have fallen off the true path of marriage. And my name is Paul Friedman, and I founded the Marriage Foundation, and I'm grateful for your presence here. And like the video and subscribe, and God bless you, and take care.